Greetings and salutations, you guys. It's Hadrian here. Welcome to a new video. How's everyone doing today? Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. I'm here today with a handbag rehab video. I'm so excited. I know I haven't done these in a hot second, but I just got this in from Clyde'S leather company. They sent me some of their products to review, and I'm super duper excited because inside this bag is a product that I've always wanted to try. But let me show you guys what's in here, and then we're gonna go hop over to our little workstation and we're gonna try some of these products out, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on how I think the products are. So let's see what's inside of here. I already opened it, so I couldn't wait. The first item is this interior cleaning foam. It's quick foaming, stain and dirt removable. This is what it looks like. You guys are always asking for good interior cleaning products for the inside of your bags. So I can't wait to try this one out. I also do love a good foaming cleaner because the foam really gets into those nooks and crannies and really penetrates into whatever it is that you're trying to clean. So this is pretty exciting. Then up next, this is the Clyde'S Leather Prep and Deglazer. I've used products similar to this before. This just helps you clean off the finish of the product or the leather product that you're trying to paint or dye. So that way the dye will be able to penetrate properly into the bag and hold steadfast onto there so you get a good application. So that's what this is. We love that. Then we just have a little set of sponges and a little brush inside of there. We have another application sponge as well. And a third one. Then this is the moisturizing cream. It helps restore, waterproof, and protect. So this one I'm pretty excited to use because it has lots of different things that it does. Not only does it moisturize your leather, it'll help restore its vitality back. So it'll bring back that moisture into the leather. It also helps waterproof the bag from water that may accidentally drop on it, which is always great so you don't get those crazy water stains that are so annoying that you get on your bags. And then also protects. So it probably also adds not just the added barrier for the water, but also from scratching or scuffing that can occur. So very excited to try this out. And then these last two, these are what I'm most excited about. And these are their restoring balms. So these not only are supposed to moisturize your bags, they also add pigment back into your bag. So I just wanted to try some crazy colors because I feel like these are always the hardest to kind of use on leather or to get I don't know, but a white is always so difficult, and to bring back a white colored bag, usually you have to paint it. You can't really dye it, and I know this has pigments in it, and I feel like this might be just an easier application. I don't know, so I'm really excited to try this out and give you guys my opinion on this. And also the pink, I feel like pink is another color that's kind of difficult. And also I did ask the company, and you can actually mix these together. So just doing different variations on pink and mixing this together to see how it is. Pretty excited to try these out. So let's get over to the table and go see how these products work. Alright guys, we are now at my workstation and I'm ready to try out these products with you. My first one I'm going to be using or cleaning up and fixing up is going to be this Marc by Marc Jacobs handbag, and it's in this beautiful white color, and I feel like this actually kind of matches our color restoring balm that we're going to be using. So we're going to have to clean this up first. I got this from Savers. It was $20, but I think I had a coupon when I bought it. But according to the application instructions from Clyde right here, it says that I have to clean off the surface, which is always the primary step whenever you're going to be using any sort of recoloring, dyeing products on the leather. So they didn't send any cleaning products for leather, so I'm just going to be using one of my go-tos. That's the Kiwi Quick Dry Sneaker Cleaner. This stuff is fantastic. So let us clean up the bag really quick. And I just like to apply this, I don't know, pretty liberally throughout. And I just have a microfiber cloth right here. And let me just clean this up really quickly. But it does have lots of discoloration and like staining and all that on the bag. So let's see how much of the marks we can remove. And then the parts that need color touch up, we can use our color balm. Okay, so this is actually a really good place to try out our interior cleaning foam. So I'm actually gonna just do 1/2 of this interior lining that's on the top flap, and then we can see how clean it'll get. So like the whole thing has lots of discoloration. It's almost like a tan color. So let's see how this works out. So I'm gonna give this a little shaky shake. We're gonna open it up and let's give it a try. I'm really excited to see how this works. Alright, so it comes out like a foam like that. And I'm just going to use another side of my microfiber cloth. And let's give this interior a little bit of a clean. And see how clean we can get it. Okay, this is actually really, really good. Can you see how white and clean the letters are right here and how like tan they are on this side? It is actually very, very good. All right, so I think it looks really, really good. Right, doesn't that look fantastic? I'm excited to see what it looks like once it dries. And then we can see how much lighter it gets once it dries. Because right now it's still a little wet. So now what we're going to do is I did clean the underside of the top flap right here. And there is like some color loss throughout, especially like on the corners, some right here. But primarily there's a lot right here where a lot of the color is completely gone and it's actually gray underneath. So when you're testing out like any sort of leather products like this, I always recommend doing on like a portion that doesn't show as much, and that would be the interior of this top flap where there is some color loss. So there are two ways to go about it. We can just apply the leather leather color on top of here, our Recoloring Balm. But I think what I do want to do is I want to use our leather prep and deglazer, because with this it's going to make sure to remove any of the remaining finish that might be on the leather and let the leather really accept the color that we're going to be depositing into it. So we're just going to be using this, and we don't really need too much. You just need, I'm just going to use my microfiber cloth again. And I'm just putting some on there, and you don't really need to go too hard with this. You just need to make sure to get some of the deglazer on all of the parts that you're going to be cleaning or painting. And it actually makes the leather feel like a little tacky, like it's cool. So we like that. Make sure that it's going to accept our, and a little goes a long way. You don't really need too much, you guys. And it also helps remove any remaining debris or anything that may be on the leather as well. All right, so now that is done, and we can try out our Recoloring Balm. So this is the moment of truth. Super excited. Let's look at the consistency of this. All right, there it is. It honestly looks like a thick paint. It almost looks like a sour cream, to be honest. Okay, so I do have a little bit here on the little lid right here. So let's actually, I don't know, let's use the smaller one. Let me just do this. I don't want to waste any of this. So we're going to use our little sponge right here. It also comes with like this little applicator brush, but I think I'm going to use a sponge. So I'm just going to put, I'm not going to use too much because I want to see how much you actually need to use to do this, because sometimes a little goes a long way. So I literally only have a tiny little amount right there in my hand, and then we're going to go on to the leather right here and we'll see what happens. Okay. It's definitely not completely filling in this little gray spot, but I don't know if maybe we need like more coats. So I'm just going to like dab it on. And I'm just literally gonna let it sit for a hot second and see what happens. But the part that I did use it on, it has deposited color pretty well. So let's see how it looks. Actually, let me just do one side of this like I did. Let's actually do this side. So this will be the dirty side for the fabric, but it'll be the clean side of the leather, just because this is the dirtier side. And I really want to see, or like the side that has more color loss. And I really want to see how it deposits the color. It also has the added bonus of lightening up the string too, which is nice. And I'm not too worried about getting it onto the middle hardware, because that can always just be wiped off pretty easily. So if you get a little bit on there, you don't have to be like scared or anything. Also, I am getting some on the fabric, so we're just gonna wipe that off. But so far so good. This is pretty painless. It's kind of fun and therapeutic to do. And it is actually like brightening up the leather a lot. Like it's definitely reinvigorating it with pigment, which I really like, because that is what we want to see when you're doing something like this. And it says to just kind of like apply it in a circular motion, really making sure that it gets into the nooks and crannies, because you don't want it to look streaky or patchy or anything like that. Okay, so far so good. I really like it so far. There is still though that little spot right there, which I think I want to use. I'm going to try the little brush thing and see if this will help. I didn't read any instructions for how to like use the brush, but I mean, it's here. We might as well try it and see if we can get... Oh, see, now that is a nicer application with the brush when it's something that's like this. Actually, this is probably what it's meant for, TBH. Okay, so I'm like just gonna brush this on. I'm gonna let it sit, and then we're gonna buff it after a while. Now this, once you're done applying it to the desired color that you want, it says to let it cure for 24 to 36 hours. So usually you're gonna need that time to allow the color to really set in. So that way, you're not going to experience any color transfer or anything like that. You always wanna make sure you let your leather products cure when you re-dye them or paint them any color like that. So yeah, okay, this is kind of nice. Let me just see how it is when I just apply with this little brush, and then I can buff it in with the sponge afterwards. You might even want, like, for something like this, you might actually want to do multiple layers. Like, you might want to let it cure first and then reapply again afterwards, like after 24 to 36 hours. And then to speed it up, you can always use a heat gun or a hair dryer or something. But I think I'm pretty satisfied with how this is looking. I think it looks really good. Like, the application, I think, looks pretty nice. And I think I'm ready to try a larger area. I think I'm getting kind of brave. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this. So again, I'm just gonna buff it in some more. Really getting it in there. But yeah, look at that. I think that looks so good. So in comparison to this side, I don't even know. Is it showing up? But it looks really good. I'm pretty excited. This side has been covered up a lot, but it still definitely needs a little bit more help. You might even want to use like a small brush so you can really get the precision of getting it in there. But that is that. Let's actually move over to this side of the bag. We're not going to flip it over yet because I want to let this dry a little bit more. But let's actually try this part of the bag. As you can see, there are some scuff marks, some discoloration, especially on the corners right here. There's a lot of color loss. And for this, I actually want to see what happens if I apply this without using the leather prep and see what happens. And if you don't have leather prep or you run out when you're doing a project, you can always use some nail polish remover or rubbing alcohol. They're just not as strong as the leather prep. So the leather prep is probably like the stronger product that you're going to be using. So that will really, really help your coloring balm or whatever you're using really stick onto the leather. But I really want to see how this works just as is like this. And I think I want to try it just like right here in this. We're going to probably split this in half again. And we'll probably do this half of the bag and see how it looks. So we're applying the recoloring balm. I do love the application, it's very nice. This is especially nice if you have white bags, because white bags do have a tendency to yellow over time. So this is a nice way to bring back the color of your bag, I feel like. And it's easy to do. You can do this yourself. Oh, this is so easy, you guys. It's so easy to apply this, especially when it's like a large surface area like this. Oh, you guys, it looks so good. This side is looking so refreshed compared to this side. Like, this side is like way dull. I know it's really hard to see it, but like on a white bag, but you can see like this side looks a little dirtier, darker, dingier, and this side is like bright and like effervescent, dare I say. Oh, I'm so happy. This looks so good. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this side cure because the darker spots didn't necessarily get covered up completely. So I think what we need to do is I think we do need to layer it. And I'm actually going to get my heat gun. And I'm going to heat this up and dry it up. And then we are going to apply like a second coat over it. And really see how it looks, but so far so good. Let's actually do this little corner right here together. I'm gonna like try to bring it as close to the camera as I can. I have my heat gun, so let's just heat this guy up. Okay, so now it's like clean to the touch. It's not like sticky or anything anymore. So now it's time to add our second layer, and let's see how this applies. You know, I actually kind of also wanted to do this. Just like do it like that, like press it on, and then I want to dry it up and see if it comes off. That makes sense, because when you layer it like this, it's more pigmented, and I want to see if it dries like that. Alright guys, I think it looks so good. So I think I figured out kind of how to use it. You kind of have to do a couple, like the more saturated you want the color to be, you have to do more layers of the product, and then you have to make sure to like dry them in between and then reapply, and then you'll get like the color that you really want. And then sometimes you kind of have to like stretch out the leather to get like really into those nooks and crannies, which is probably why there's the brush as well. But see how there's a little bit of that on the like the paint on the hardware. You can just get a little bit of your leather prep right there, and that will just wipe right off. You can even use a Q-tip if you want like a better like application. for removal. So that way you don't get any on your leather. Which I think I did get some on the leather. But I'm going to redo the whole thing anyway. So now on this side, I want to use the leather prep and then see if I find like a difference in the way that it sticks versus this side as well. So we're just like kind of playing around with this to see how we want, or how I want to use the product. And I know like everyone has their own way of doing things, and then the company has like its own instructions as well. But it says, yeah, conservative amount of balm. So you really don't want to go overboard with the color. And that's probably why they want you to do layers. And I want to really make sure to get the leather prep into these little corners where there's a lot of like color loss right there, so that makes sure that it really accepts that new color into there. Because I feel like that's the hardest part about this, is kind of like layering the color into those little portions of the bag. So I wanted to show you guys how the bag looks. This is kind of the difference between like the before and after of how the color was. This color of the top flap is like a little bit like more dingy looking, more yellowed because it's a white bag. It ages over time. It turns a little bit yellow. And then look at our new color down below. Like it looks so good. Now what I want to do though is I want to use the other product that we got. So let me just put away our paint because I want to see if we can what it looks like to mimic the finish, because this is a little bit more flat looking once you apply the color. So I'm going to use our Restore, Waterproof, and Protect Remoisturizing Cream, and let us try this. Look at that. There's the product right there. Again, I'm going to be using a microfiber cloth to apply this. And let's see how this works out. Again, I'm just going to try it on a side that doesn't show as much. And let's see what this does to the leather. It actually does give it a pretty nice shine. So I think with this, we're just gonna buff it in. That's usually how these products work. You just buff them on, let them sit for a second, and then you buff them again with a microfiber cloth to really bring out that shine. But I feel like it's already making it look pretty good, just as is with this first application. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Okay, let's actually try the bag right here. actually does give the bag like a nice shine. Can you see that? Ooh, okay. Let's try this, do the whole thing. So that way we can see how it looks in comparison with the top flap. Because the top flap still has some of that original finish on it, so it has that shine. Alright you guys, here is how the top flap looks. I think it looks super good. And I think I finally figured out how to use the product better now that I've like done another portion of the bag. And I think the best way to approach it is when you apply it with a sponge. You get a fair amount, not like too much on the sponge, but when you get it on there, you really want to buff it in and kind of go fast and try to like stretch out the leather so you can get into the nooks and crannies of it. And then dry it and then like do it again. Just do thin layers. Try to make them consistent so they don't get patchy. And yeah, so I don't know. I think it looks pretty darn good. The back, like look how dirty the back is compared to that. Like that is amazing. I think I'm just gonna have to do the back. I think I'm just gonna do the whole thing, so I can really show you guys how it looks. So we're going to condition again last. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish the rest of the bag. And I'm just going to speed up this entire process for you guys to watch in a time lapse. Alright you guys, here is the bag. I wanted to show you guys how it looks. I think it looks so good. I'm sorry the camera died like towards the end, but you already saw the steps that I took, and I pretty much just did the same exact thing throughout the rest of the bag, and I think it looks so fantastic. The corners look so good. Everything turned out beautiful. I love that. I love this remoisturizing cream. I like the finish that it gives onto the bag. Like I feel like it's really nice, and the application of the cream was very good. You kind of do have to work fast, and you kind of have to make sure that you apply evenly throughout, or else it's patchy, and then it's kind of hard to remove that. So I think that's just comes with a little bit of practice, and once you get the hang of it, I think this is a really great product that I highly recommend. And I feel like it's a lot less daunting than painting or dyeing something, because the cream is, I feel like it's so much more user friendly and easy to apply. So I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have these products that I use in this video linked down below in the description box if you guys want to go check them out. And yeah, thank you so much, Clyde, for sending these over. Again, this video was not sponsored or paid for or anything. They just sent me these products, and I tried them out, and I'm giving you guys my opinion on them, and I love it. I think it came out really good. Here's that inside flap. It came out so clean. It looks really good. So I'm very excited. And also this is this part was just a little bit more difficult to clean up right here, but I think it covered up most of it, and the corners all look really good. So I'm very excited because the corners kind of look like that. I don't know why the inner portion, just like the color did not want to stick. And yeah, but that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Don't forget, I do live sales every Friday and Saturday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and do 2 videos every single day for the month of December at 7 a.m. for a thrifting video and at 2 for Vlogmas. And there is some thrifting sometimes in the Vlogmas episodes as well. So sometimes you get double the amount of fun for thrifting. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys all in the next one. All right, bye guys.